Hey, Jenny, and hey, Sandy. How are you?
It's ugly Christmas sweater day, so here we are.
All right. So we're going to show your update from your status report so these folks can see it. And what you probably need to do for us is to make sure we can see how well we're doing, right?
Okay.
So are we making progress and so forth? So I'll move out of the way and give you a chance to speak to it. And then we have questions we'll ask and then figure out what we need to do moving forward.
Okay. Okay. So to start out, on the first one, there was a miscommunication because I didn't ask for any financial support to work with Two Partner because I've taken on that cost through my budget. But the work with them has been absolutely instrumental in our math growth. On the interims, every grade level experienced growth and met our goal that we had in our 90-day plan at this midpoint of the year. Our second grade gained 70, they scored 70.6%, and that was an overall gain of 36.5% overall growth. Third grade grew by or exceeded our goal by 11.4%. Fourth grade was by, do you remember? It was by, I think it was like 1.8%. And our only grade level that did not exceed the goal that we had set in our 90-day plan was fifth grade. But we know the whys behind that, and so we are addressing those as we speak. We've just had Two Partner here for the last 2 days doing unit planning and then daily planning with each grade level so that when we come back in January, all teachers are ready to hit the ground running. And so it has been an absolute positive support. As we talked about last time, we have some teachers that don't have firm understandings of grade level content. And so even today, part of a grade level was just spent on teachers doing the math and working with geo boards and figuring out, how we're going to use these tools to support student learning. But we have to make sure our teachers know how to do that first. So it is really tailored to each individual grade level needs or what they need. And so it's been a very positive and supportive step, and we are above target in our goals. As far as along with iReady, overall this time last year we were at 65% growth, and at this point we are at 77% growth at the midpoint. So all the work that the teachers have taken on, and they've taken on a tremendous amount of work and learning and just doing things differently, is paying off. The next point I would like to talk about, do we have questions right now before we move on, or should I continue? Hello?
Yeah, keep going.
Oh, okay, keep going. All right. The next point is something that has been absolutely positive for Laredo as well, is the work with Jake Potter. We did not have a consistent tier 1 behavior system, and that is causing some issues with, one, the messaging that we're sending to students because we were all doing different things. So Jake has come in and looked at the system, and then we have a brand new dean, we have a brand new social worker, and our school psychologist is in her second year. So we have a fairly new team. So he has really sat down and worked with us. He's supporting the dean. We meet on a weekly basis and review data, go over, the system. The staff has had voice in all of this. And so we have, with Jake's help, created a new behavior matrix, a behavior flow chart. And so we have done some scenarios. We've been having PD on this since October 2nd. And teachers, we've just kind of scrapped what we had and started over because nothing was effective. And so Jake's voice around this has been instrumental in helping us have some continuity, not only in between grade levels, but among grade levels. And so when we come back in January, we have a consistent Tier 1 system that teachers will begin using with support. And we are very hopeful that our Tier 1 behaviors will be addressed in a proactive way so that they don't become Tier 2 and Tier 3. So I just can't say enough about, one, the expertise and knowledge that Jake brings in this area and how supportive that he has been. I'm really hopeful that when we come back in January, we're all starting off working on the same system and kids get the same consistent message from all grade levels, from all paras, from specialists, that it will really help and help kind of curb some of our behavior that we see. Go ahead, you're next.
Okay. As far as, I'm going to jump down past the third point just for a minute, because along with the support we're getting from Jake from the district, we're also getting support from Jamila Gordon. She is supporting our attendance team, which is an area of need. Laredo has historically run similar to some of the attendance data in the district, but we are trying to hit a goal of 96% average daily attendance throughout the course of the year. Heading into our third quarter has been the toughest quarter for us attendance-wise. Last year we averaged at 89.7, I believe, for third quarter. And we're looking to be real proactive and combat that. And bringing Jamila in has been a huge benefit already. Quarter 2 data last year hung right around 90% attendance. Right now for the entire quarter, we're averaging 93. So already she's been supportive to us and our team, looking at our systems, similar to what Jake has done for us, looking at where we can remediate the areas that aren't working, where we can replicate the areas that are working. And she's just been a real strong leader for this work. She and Verlene have also been very supportive and a specific family that we were having some pretty major attendance concerns about. So that's been very positive. We're looking to continue that partnership with her. As far as asks at this time, you'll see on the form for the EASI grant, we had applied for that to expand our work with 2 partners. Knowing that 4th and 5th grade are major growth years, and considering the data that was generated last year from CMAS on math and the makeup of our team, because we have 4 new teachers to us on that team, we wanted to make sure that 4th grade was getting the support it needed to promote real strong growth in 4th grade. And so we had asked, 2 partner had offered a coach to us, and we had asked for this grant to pay for that. And we did not get the grant. She is working with our 4th grade team. And like Sandy mentioned, they were the team that we were discussing earlier today, who are learning the content, learning the best instructional practices. Brianna, the coach, has been absolutely instrumental in pushing their practice and their knowledge. But without this grant, then that budgetary concerns falls on the school. So the ask for that is $17,000.
Those are our talking points. I will say with the ask for the financial support, working with 2 partner again, there was a miscommunication or a misunderstanding of the ask. That wasn't the ask. The ask through that was through working with 2 partner. Teachers have discovered how powerful it is to have a common plan time for math. What we've discovered in several grade levels is we start at the unit level and we look globally, and then we backwards plan until we get to the daily plans. Working on those daily plans have allowed teachers to see the flow of the week and
to really implement the curriculum with stronger fidelity than we have before.
And so that is a change. So through that, the ask was to pay teachers at per diem for an hour after contract time a week to have that grade level math plan. So that was a misconception or a miscommunication on the form. And so we've spoken about our points. Is there anything that we need to provide clarity or answer any questions?
So, team, if you have any questions, now's a good time to ask. Yeah, so for
Hi,
me, go ahead, Bias.
hey Sandy, this is Baez.
Okay.
So since the grant wasn't awarded to Laredo to cover that support around the math coaching, like how can we help you within the support structures that are in the district to execute that work?
At this point, I am paying for it with my budget, but it was an unplanned money amount to spend. But, you know, I've taken it on because I think it's so important, because that fourth grade year is vital for us. You know, I would just ask through is if there's DDS or any other funding available that could pay for all or part. You know, that is the ask.
Okay, but if there's not any funds, what can we do within the support structures that exist within the district? Because I know that Jim actually worked and used to coach one of the folks that are part of that coaching that you were looking for. And so is there anything that we can provide within the constructs of the people support that we have at the district?
Okay, thanks for the clarity. Absolutely, Jim is very knowledgeable and a very respected member of the district team. My concern is that this happens on a weekly basis, and I know that Jim has the whole district, and so it's so important to me to make sure that this is consistent and that they hear a consistent message and a consistent voice to move forward. Could Jim take this on? I have no doubt. He certainly has the expertise and the knowledge. My concern would be his availability, to just be, you know, totally honest, because he supports every school, and asking for an hour a week, you know, I don't know if that's huge.
Because the coach is here all day with our teachers, so
yeah. It's an 8 to 3:30 day every week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Baez.
No problem. Thanks.
So I am still confused about what you want with two partners, right?
Okay, well, yeah.
I don't know. I either you pay for it and you want to be reimbursed, or you pay for a little bit and you want a lot more. I'm completely confused, and we need to, via Sue Lynn, get this all worked out.
All right.
I can't respond right now because I don't know where we are.
Sure,
So
and I get it.
you have to make it plain.
Okay, here it is plain. I'm paying for two partners to come in here monthly and work with every grade level to plan. And so that is not an ask. The ask is because we didn't get the EASI grant, the ask is to pay for some or all of the fourth grade coach. And another ask is to pay teachers at their per diem for an hour over contract for weekly math planning. That's the ask. Sorry, that wasn't clear.
If you can put this together and just let me know what that looks like.
Thank you. And
you
know, Andre, one thing I've had a problem with is I have had my secretary reach out to budget and to everyone we can think of, and I have not been able to get solid per diem rates. So I'm just taking an average. At the beginning, at our first strategic response, it was going to be about 17,000, but now since we've gone through weeks, it would only be about, I'm estimating, between 13 and 14. And so, but I can't give a solid number because I can't get that information. And I have tried valiantly. So if there's any help I could get in that, so I could give an absolute solid concrete number, that would be helpful.
Okay, like I said, if you could just let me know what I'm going to be communicating back to the team, because that will help me
Okay, thank you.
be more specific about what can and can't happen from our end. Because without it, I'm just guessing.
Absolutely, and I feel that's where I am too. And it's not a comfortable space to be.
Sandy, this is Starla. Have you checked with HR to help determine the per diem rates?
I know Sally's reached out to several different departments or divisions. I'm not sure what all she did. I just asked her to just problem solve and check with as many people as she could. I can check with her though.
Any additional questions? All right, so continue to follow up for us with the status report, right? That way we can monitor progress of how we are responding to the things that we've committed to.
Okay,
And then that way, next time we get together, then we'll be able to see any adjustments we need to make, whatever else needs to happen.
great.
And also make sure you get that information to me so I can respond.
Certainly will. Thank you. And
All right, thank you.
what we've gotten so far has been great.
All right, have a good one.
All right,
Thanks.
bye.
All right, bye.